You know, Imam Jamil, and that's who we were leading to talk about. Imam Jamil wrote a book, must have been 67, called Die Nigga Die. So we ought to kill they nigga. Yeah, we are talking about the N-word. We want they nigga dead and gone. But our nigga, my nigga, right, is still here with us. Yes, we ain't gonna get rid of him. That's my nigga. You better know it is. And we're not getting rid of it. That's my nigga. That's our nigga over there. What is he? That's a bad nigga there. That means when the police kicked the brother's door in the 60s, that bad nigga kicked the door open with him and drew down and blasted him with 245s, right? Ain't nothing wrong with him. That's a bad nigga. Tell the truth, isn't that right? We're not trying to get rid of him. We're bringing him with us. Because it's a bad nigga, which means a good nigga. Isn't that right? Not they good nigga is different. Yes, sir, boss. That's a good nigga for them. Right? So we're not going to get rid of, yes, die nigga die. They nigga die. Those niggas die. But not the good nigga. The real good nigga, which is a bad nigga. We're going to keep him. Quantum leap, what I mean is the de-Negrolization process means that there are things that was in us that are good, very good. And for that time, they served its purpose. There are things in us now that don't belong there. In order to go beyond where anybody else is going, we're going to have to go through the de-Negrolization process, because Allah brought us here and went through all of that suffering and allowed the Euro to make a Negro, right? And now created him, made him, poured out everything was in his brain and poured in. You got to understand now. He poured out your culture, your religion, your language. That has never happened to anybody else come here, right? And then he poured in everything he wanted. So he poured in inferiority. He poured in self-hatred. He poured in, if you're white, you're all right. If you're yellow, you're mellow. If you're brown, stick around. But if you're black, get back. Huh? The Euro come up with all of that and handed it to us, and we start singing it in songs. Somebody in the 40s or 50s wanted to let you know where they stood. They say, I'm free, white, and 21. Right? That means you can't tell me nothing, because I'm free. I'm white. And I'm above that age of discretion. Right? Where does that bring us? And the best way that I can tell it is to tell it from something personal. This movement is on a roll. And all the sissies and all that have eliminated themselves. And the process of developing the real movement, it is doing it in a way that it's done happen, and it's too bad for them. And the only reason I'm talking about it because it's already a reality, right? And I'll explain it this way. We always wanted a great, when we became Muslims, a great leader. So in 82, we had a big program in California. In 1982, I get the flyer for this next time. And Imam Jamil came out, the poets came out, Suleiman, El-Hajj and them. It was one of the biggest programs in California at that time. Now remember, in 82, the Sunnah was not known too well in California. That's way out there. It's not the East Coast. Now it's common. But at that time, everybody knew about the Nation of Islam. They didn't know about Moorish sign. They didn't know nothing in the East Coast. All the people knew was Nation of Islam. And there was one so-called Sunni masjid in L.A. in the 70s that was African American. That's it. That's it. So people didn't know nothing about the Quran and Sunnah. So we had a big program at the Oakland Auditorium. It was 2,000 people, something like that came. It was big. Imam Jamil, the poets, and we had a program. We're introducing Northern California to the Sunnah. And all kind of people came. And up in the balcony, it was a lot of Arabs and Iranians. And all the black people was looking up, and they saw all the sisters in hijab. They said, those Muslims up there, they look white. So yeah, they must. So they was being introduced because they didn't know you could, all those Indians, Pakistanis, Arabs, and most of them was kind of light, and Iranians look white. So they said, what are these white? How can these white folks be Muslim? That time, Imam Jamil came out, and this was the introduction, and the poets. It was a beautiful program. I had a lot of time to talk with Imam Jamil. This is when the Dar was breaking up. It was just about broke up. February 82. If you, all y'all here, East Coasters know, it was about shattered by then. It was still going through a little turmoil. So Imam Jamil was kind of going out, and he was going to, being a part of the Dar, he was going to keep it together. You know what I mean? He was going to keep it together. So he was talking to people about Bayah. And so when I talked to him about it, it was something that came up, and I realized something about him. I said, Imam Jamil does not like going to prison. Don't like it. It had a little fear because he just did about 6 years, which, and I calculated, not really that long. So I didn't give Bayah to him, but I sought him out for that purpose. But after going through the process already, I remember we done been around the court about 3 or 4 times already by 82. So I said to myself, I don't think I'm going to give this guy Bayah allegiance, because a leader have to be ready for certain things. African American leader, he had to be ready for death, number 1. He had to be ready for jail, number 2, automatic, right? He had to be ready to be discredited, isolated, cut off, talked about, it's automatic. Those 3 things are minimums that you got to be already. I'm ready for that. It don't make me no difference. Bring it on. You got to be ready for it. It's automatic. To me, he didn't seem ready to go to prison. So he had one fault. I saw one fault. That's all. One fault in him. He, on the other hand, saw a fault in me that he didn't like. Now, we all right. We get along. Even then. So he saw in me, he done heard this is one of them old-time big niggas, and he was a drug dealer too. Now, Imam Jamil's crew, the BLA, they was out to kind of eliminate drug dealers, in the late 60s and early 70s. And I was a big-time drug dealer, the biggest one in Northern California. So we kind of came to Islam from different roads. We got to the same place, right? We came from a different road. But what he saw in his life at that time was that this nigga, we bring him in on board, he might get bigger than me. This is normal, right? For Negroes and all other human beings, right? But the Negro got it more than anybody. The Negro wants to be the chief, absolutely. The Negroes got it, Arabs got it, Pakistanis got it, white folks got it too. But white folks will suppress it. If they got a big enemy out there, they'll work with you, the other white folks, till they get rid of that main enemy, then they'll fix the other one. Right? Better than we do. This is just the way things have worked out. We don't know how it happened. That's the way it is, right? The De-Negrolization process means when we come in this time, history will have to have wiped out all of that Negroism.